men dictate those principles. And I suppose when a woman steps forward and says, well, here's my idea, or this is how I see it, this is my sexual fantasy, etc., etc., I think that frightens a lot of people. I think it frightens women too, not just men. So,
Jag känner mig så överraskad av Madonna. Hon är pytteliten i verkligheten och bräcklig på något sätt. Lågmäld och eftertänksam. Jag hade väntat mig att hon skulle vara mer amerikanskt gåpåig och provokativ.
Speaking of you as a role model, I mean, when you're talking you sound as a feminist, any feminist. But what's new with you, I think, is that you say you can use anything to get what you want. You can use your sex appeal. You can.
Well, you can use what you're good at, whatever that may be. You know, if you're a clever person, then that's what you should use. If you're a funny person, then you should use your humor. You know, it's whatever your strength is. So, what you have to do is find out what your strength is, and then use it.
And if you have beautiful tits, you should use them.
Absolutely.
And that's what you did.
Well, I don't think I just used that, but I think that one shouldn't negate or, you know, that side of them. It's not, I don't think that you have to ignore your sexuality or your sexual charisma or whatever you want to call it. I don't think that's a negative thing if you want to get ahead in life, so to speak.
So what's the difference between you and a striptease dancer?
I'm richer.
Why?
I guess I've used more of my assets.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, if you give advice to young girls who don't know how to behave themselves in this world, would you say to them...
Who don't know how to behave themselves?
Yeah, I mean, who does when you're young? So would you say, use whatever you have? I mean, if
I would say be true to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I would say, you know, I mean, a lot of it has to do with self-respect. If you have no dignity about yourself and no self-respect and you go out on stage and take your clothes off, then that is the message that you're communicating. It depends on your own self-possession and how you feel inside. So I would say that that's the important thing. I mean, I have many things to say and many ways to express myself if I am just simply in the act of taking off my clothes and doing a striptease, then I am exactly the same as a striptease artist. But if I have something to say, or I write a song, or I'm performing on stage, or I'm dancing, or I'm acting in a movie, then that adds another dimension to who I am.
När Madonna gav ut boken Sex för ett par år sedan så blev det ett väldigt rabalder. Boken visade Madonnas sexuella fantasier och det var för mycket för många. Madonna är desperat, spekulativ, dum, billig. Det här blir slutet på hennes karriär, hette det.
When you have lived out your fantasies like you do in this book, do they still turn you on afterwards?
Well, I don't think that fantasies have to be necessarily lived out. I mean, I was saying these are my fantasies. I wasn't saying this is what I'm going to go out and do. I think having sexual fantasies and having a lot of them is really healthy. All I'm saying is there's nothing wrong with having sexual fantasies. And it's good to have active imagination and to play in your mind and feel comfortable with them. And the things that I wrote about in my book do still turn me on.
After the sex book and some other things that you did.
Some other things?
Yes, I won't go into that.
Like what?
Well, like your tour and everything.
Girly show?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
What did you find out about human nature?
Well, I realized what a taboo subject it is, the subject of sex or sexuality, and how kind of backwards we are in our way of thinking as far as sexual politics are concerned, and how sexist our society still is, and how frightened people are of change, things that are different.
You seem that you're not sorry, but apparently a lot of people didn't get the message. Well, what went wrong?
Well, when